The street was quiet that afternoon. Not silent, but calm. The kind of calm that comes right before something changes. A black man drove slowly down the road. His hands were steady on the wheel. His car was old but clean. No loud music. No rusing. Just a man going home. He had finished a long day of work. 12 hours. No barracks. He was tired but peaceful. Then the lights flashed. Red. Blue. They filled his mirrors. He did not panic. He did not speed up. He did not slow down too hard. He pulled over, smooth and careful. He put the car in park. Turned off the engine. Both hands on the wheel. He had done this before. A policewoman stepped out her car. Her walk was sharp, confident. Her face showed no emotion. She stopped at his window. Tapped twice. He rolled it down. "Yes, officer," he said. His voice was calm, respectful. "License and registration," she said. "No greeting. No esmail." He handed them over. Slowly, carefully. She looked at the papers. Then at him. Then back at the papers. "You know why I stopped you?" she asked. "No, ma'am," he replied. "You were speeding." He paused for a second. Not in fear. In thought. "I don't believe I was, officer," he said softly. "But I understand." She raised an eyebrow. Not used to that answer. She stepped back to her car. Time passed. Cars moved by. A bus stopped at the corner. Someone laughed in the distance. Inside the car, the man stayed still. He thought about his wife. Dinner would be ready soon. She always waited for him. The policewoman returned. "I'm issuing you a ticket," she said. "That's okay," he replied. "I'll take it." That surprised her. She began writing. Slow. Very slow. Then she stopped. She looked at him again. This time longer. Her eyes dropped. To his left hand. To the ring. A simple gold band. Worn. Not shiny. She tilted her head. "You married?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am," he said. Proud. Simple. She smiled. Not a warm smile. A curious one. She leaned a little closer to the window. Her voice lowered. "You know," she said slowly, "if you weren't married, I give you my number." The air changed. The street felt quieter now. The man did not laugh. He did not flirt. He did not look away. He looked at her. Then he smiled. But not the smile she expected. It was calm. Controlled. Strong. He nodded once. "My wife wouldn't like that," he said. His tone was gentle, but final. The smile on her face faded. She straightened up. "Well," she said quickly, "I'll finish this ticket." Her pen moved faster now. She tore the paper. Handed it to him. "Sign here." He signed. Still calm. She hesitated. She looked at him one more time. Something about him bothered her. Not his words. Not his tone. His confidence. Not loud. Not rude. Quiet confidence. She turned and walked back to her car. But she did not leave. She sat there, typing, running his name again. The man watched her through the mirror. He felt it. That shift. He had felt it before. The wait became longer. 5 minutes. Then 10. Finally, she stepped out again. This time, her face was different. Tighter. "Sir," she said, "please stay in the vehicle." He nodded. "Of course." She walked away and spoke in her radio. Low voice. Serious. The man took a slow breath. He reached for his phone. Texted one message. "Running late. Everything okay?" He placed the phone down. Outside, another police car appeared. Lights flashing. The man did not move. He did not fear. But he wondered. What had changed? The policewoman looked at the screen in her hand again. Her fingers stopped. Her eyes widened just a little. She swallowed. Then she looked up at him. And for the first time since the stop began, she looked unsure. The policewoman did not come back right away. She stayed in her car. Her fingers moved fast on the keyboard. Then slow. Then they stopped. She leaned back, stared at the screen. The black man watched everything from his mirror. He did not turn his head. He did not move his hands. He knew this moment. The waiting moment. The kind of wait where time stretches. Where nothing happens, but everything feels heavy. Cars passed by. A mother pushed a stroller across the street. 2 teenagers laughed near the bus stop. Life kept moving. He stayed still. Inside, he felt calm, but alert. The policewoman stepped out again. Her walk was not sharp anymore. It was careful. "Sir," she said, "I need to ask you a few more questions." "Yes, officer," he replied. "Where are you coming from?" "Work." "What kind of work?" "Community work," he said. She paused. Community work? She repeated. Yes, ma'am. Her eyes narrowed. Like volunteer? He smiled softly. Sometimes. She looked at him. Really looked this time. Not just his face. His posture. His tone. Too calm. She turned and walked back to her car. Again. This time, she spoke into the radio. Quiet words. Serious voice. The man took a slow breath. He reached into his jacket. Slowly. Pulled out his phone. He called his wife. She answered on the first ring. I'm okay, he said. Just pulled over. Her voice was steady. You want me to come? No, he replied. I'll be home soon. He ended the call. He placed the phone on the seat. Screen facing up. Another police car arrived. Then another. No sirens. Just lights. Red. Blue. The policewoman stood between the cars now. Her body camera was on. So were theirs. One officer glanced at the black man, then did a double take. He leaned closer to the policewoman, whispered something. She shook her head. He checked the tablet in his hand. His face changed. Wait, he said quietly. Is that him? She frowned. Him who? She asked. The officer looked again. The guy from the youth center, he said. The one who speaks at schools. She froze. No, she said quickly. That can't be him. But doubt had already entered her mind. She walked back to her car. Typed again. This time slower. More careful. The man watched her reflection. Her shoulders dropped. Just a little. She stepped out once more. Her voice was different now. Softer. Sir, she said. Can you step out of the vehicle? He nodded. Of course. He opened the door. Stepped out calmly. He was tall. Well-built. Not aggressive. Just present. She gestured to the side of the road. He followed. One officer stood nearby. Hands relaxed. No tensión. The policewoman cleared her throat. Have you ever worked with the city? She asked. Yes, he said. Her eyes widened. In what way? Youth programs, he replied. Conflict training. Silence. The wind moved through the trees. One officer shifted his weight. She looked uncomfortable now. You're married? She asked again. Yes. How long? 20 years. That surprised her. She nodded slowly. Her earlier comment hung in the air. Heavy. She glanced at the body camera. Then back at him. I didn't mean any disrespect earlier, she said. He said nothing. He just looked at her. Not angry. Not proud. Honest. The officer from earlier stepped forward. Ma'am, he said quietly. I think we should wrap this up. She swallowed. Yes, she said. Yes, of course. She handed him the ticket copy. But her hand shook. He took it. He looked at it. Then looked up. May I ask you something, officer? He said. She hesitated. Yes, she answered. Do you always speak to people like that? He asked. Or only when you think they don't matter? The question landed hard. No shouting. No anger. Just truth. She opened her mouth. But no words came out. Traffic moved again. The lights were turned off. And for the first time since the stop began, she felt small. The question stayed in the air. No one spoke. The policewoman felt it first. That tight feeling in the chest. The one that comes when control starts to slip. She cleared her throat. Sir, she said, I just need to verify a few things. The black man nodded. Take your time, he replied. His voice did not change. That bothered her more than anger ever could. She turned to the officer beside her. Can you check the system again? She asked. He nodded and walked back to the car. The screen glowed in the fading light. He typed the name slowly this time. Full name. Date of birth. Enter. The system paused. Then loaded. The officer leaned forward. His eyebrows lifted. Yeah, he muttered. He looked up at the man. Then back at the screen. Then at the policewoman. You might want to see this, he said. She walked over. Fast steps. Too fast. She leaned in. Read the screen. Her face changed. Not shock. Recognition. Oh, she said quietly. The word came out smaller than she meant. The man watched from a few feet away. He already knew. This moment always came. Not because of his name, but because of what it carried. The policewoman straightened up. She adjusted her belt. Smoothed her uniform. Then she walked back to him. Her tone was different now. Respectful. Measured. Sir, she said. Do you work with the youth center on Jackson Street? Yes, he replied. And the conflict program? She asked. Yes. She nodded slowly. I've seen your picture, she admitted. At a training. Silence. The officers exchanged looks. One of them smiled. That's him, he said. The one who talks about de-escalation. The policewoman felt heat rise to her face. She remembered the comment, the ring, the number. Her stomach tightened. She looked at the body camera again. Still recording. She took a breath. Sir, she said, I want to be clear. You are not in any trouble. He nodded. I never thought I was, he said. Not rude. Not proud. Just honest. That made it worse. One officer laughed lightly. Man, my nephew listens to you, he said. Says you change how he thinks. The man smiled. That means a lot, he replied. The policewoman stepped back. She felt small now, not because of rank, but because of perspective. She had seen him as a moment. A stop. A ticket. She had not seen the man. She handed him the ticket again, then paused. Her hand stopped halfway. She tore it in half. Then again. Then once more. I'm voiding this, she said. No warning. One officer joked. She ignored him. She looked at the man. I owe you an apology, she said. He did not rush her. He waited. For my comment earlier, she continued. It was unprofessional and wrong. The road felt quiet again. The man nodded. Thank you for saying that, he replied. She swallowed. I crossed the line. Yes, he said. Not harsh. Just truth. She lowered her head slightly. I'm learning, she said. The officers watched. This was not normal. No shouting. No threats. Just growth. The man looked around. At the cars. At the lights. At the street. I hope you remember this, he said. Next time you stop someone. She nodded. I will. He turned back toward his car. Then stopped. He looked at her one last time. You have power, he said. But power without respect is just noise. She felt that. Deep. He opened his door. Sat inside. Closed it. The engine started. The lights turned off. One by one, the police cars pulled away. The policewoman stayed behind, watching his car disappear down the road. Her reflection stared back at her from the windshield. Different now. Changed. The street went back to normal. No flashing lights. No radios. No tensión. But inside the policewoman, nothing felt normal anymore. She sat in her car for a long time. The engine was off. The body camera light blinked quietly. She replayed the stop in her mind. The smile. The comment. The ring. And then his question. Do you always speak to people like that? Or only when you think they don't matter? Her fingers tightened around the steering wheel. She had been trained for danger. For violence. For chaos. But not for that. Not for quiet truth. She finally drove away. The black man arrived home later than usual. The porch light was on. His wife opened the door before he knocked. You okay? She asked. He smiled. I'm fine, he said. She studied his face. She knew him well. Something had happened. They sat at the table. He told her everything. The stop. The comment. The moment. She listened without interrupting. When he finished, she reached for his hand. I'm proud of you, she said. He shrugged. I just stayed calm. That's not just, she replied. He smiled. The next morning, the policewoman stood in a briefing room. Officers filled the seats. Coffee cups. Yawns. Quiet jokes. The supervisor walked in. Before we start, he said, I want to address an incident from yesterday. Her stomach dropped. He looked at his tablet. A traffic stop was reviewed, he continued. Body cam footage was flagged. The room grew quiet. He did not say her name. Not yet. We are reminding everyone, he said, that professionalism matters at all times. Some officers nodded. Some looked confused. She stared at the floor. After the meeting, the supervisor pulled her aside. I want you to watch the footage again, he said. All of it. Yes, sir, she replied. At her desk, she pressed play. She watched herself walk up, heard her tone, saw the ring, then the comment. Her face tightened. She kept watching, saw how he stayed calm, how he never raised his voice, how the power slowly shifted. When it ended, she sat back, silent. Later that week, a flyer appeared at the station. Community Dialogue Night. Guest speaker. His name. Her heart skipped. She stared at the paper. She almost didn't go. Almost. The room was full. Parents. Teens. Officers. Community leaders. He stood at the front. Same calm presence. Same steady voice. He spoke about respect. About fear. About how power should protect, not control. She sat in the back. Uniform on. Badge visible. She felt exposed. At the end, people clapped. Some stood. He stepped down. She waited, then walked up to him. "Excuse me," she said quietly. He turned. Recognition flashed in his eyes, but no judgment. "I wanted to thank you," she said, "for yesterday and today. We need to talk," he said. She stood. In the conference room, the screen was on. Paused on her face. The room was quiet. "This isn't about punishment," the supervisor said. "It's about trust." She nodded. "I understand. You crossed the line," he continued. "And the public saw it." "Yes, sir," she said. He studied her. "You handled the aftermath well," he added. "That matters." She felt a small relief, but not comfort. Across the city, the black man sat in his office. A young assistant stood near the door. "People are asking for a statement," she said. He shook his head. "I don't want to make this bigger," he replied. "They already did," she said gently. He looked at the screen. His face calm. Still. He sighed. "Tell them I believe in growth," he said. "Not destruction." That evening, a community forum was announced. Live stream. Open floor. The policewoman was asked to attend. So was he. She almost didn't show. Almost. The room was packed. Cameras. Lights. Murmurs. He sat on one side. She sat on the other. The moderator spoke. "We are here to talk about respect," she said, "and accountability." The policewoman's hands shook slightly. When it was her turn, she stood. She did not read from notes. She spoke from memory. "I made a comment," she said. "It was wrong." The room was silent. "I let my position make me forget my responsibility," she continued. "I'm sorry. No excuses. No blame. Just words." Then he stood. "I was stopped as a black man," he said calmly. "But I was treated as less than a person for a moment." People leaned forward. "I stayed calm because I wanted a different ending," he continued. "Not for me. For everyone watching." Eyes met eyes. The policewoman looked at him. He nodded. The room applauded. Not loud, but long. Later that night, she sat alone. The uniform hung on a chair. She looked at it. Thought about the badge. She opened her notebook again. Wrote one line. "Respect is not optional." She closed it. The next week, she was reassigned. Not fired. Not hidden. Moved to community outreach. Some officers joked. Some respected it. She accepted it. Because growth felt heavier than pride. One afternoon, she stood in front of a group of teens. Talking about choices. About power. About mistakes. She told a story. Not his name. Not the clip. Just the lesson. In the back of the room, he watched. Quiet. Proud. Not of himself, but of the moment. After the talk, she approached him. "Thank you," she said. He smiled. "For what?" "For not turning me into the villain," she replied. He nodded. "People become villains when no one believes they can change," he said. She felt that. Deep. That night, the internet moved on. As it always did. But something stayed. A lesson. A moment. A quiet shift. Because sometimes, the strongest justice is not loud. Sometimes, it's human. The spotlight faded. The internet moved on. New videos. New anger. New noise. But real change never lives online. It lives in quiet places. The policewoman learned that fast. Her new role was not easy. Community outreach sounded soft, but it was harder than patrol. No lights. No authority. Just people. She walked into schools. Church basements. Small halls with folding chairs. Some faces were open. Some were cold. Some looked at her uniform and folded their arms. She did not blame them. She remembered the stop. She remembered how easy it was to forget respect. One afternoon, she entered a youth center. The same one he worked with. The room went silent. The teen stared. A boy in the front spoke. You gonna pull us over in here too?" he asked. Laughter followed. Her chest tightened. But she stayed. "No," she said calmly. "I'm here to listen." They did not believe her. Not yet. She sat down. No speech. No lecture. Just silence. Minutes passed. Then another voice. "My cousin got stopped last week," a girl said. "Did nothing wrong." The policewoman nodded. "I believe you," she said. That was new. Slowly, the room softened. Not trust, but space. Across the city, the black man faced his own test. A donor called. Big money. Big name. "People think you went soft," the man said on the phone. "You defended a cop." The black man leaned back in his chair. I defended growth, he replied. That won't play well, the donor warned. He looked at the ring on his hand. I don't do this to play well, he said. The line went quiet. Then clicked. Funds were pulled. Programs felt it. Staff worried. His wife saw it on his face that night. You okay? She asked. He nodded slowly. We'll adjust, he said. She smiled. You always do. Weeks later, another incident happened. Different officer. Different street. A young black man was stopped. Voices raised. Phones out. Crowd forming. The policewoman arrived. Not as backup. As community liaison. She stepped between the officer and the man. Hands open. Let's slow this down, she said. The officer hesitated. She met his eyes. Let me talk to him. She turned to the young man. I'm here, she said. Talk to me. His breathing slowed. The crowd watched. No shouting. No force. The situation cooled. Cameras recorded everything. Later, the supervisor called her in. That could have gone bad, he said. Yes, she replied. But it didn't. He studied her. You did good. The black man saw the clip later. Not viral. Not trending. But real. He smiled. Not wide. Just proud. That night, he spoke at a small dinner. No cameras. No stage. Just leaders. He told them about the cost of change. About losing money. About standing still when the world wants noise. Some listened. Some didn't. But one person did. A quiet donor. A smaller check. But honest. Enough. Months passed. The policewoman stood at another youth center. The same boy from before raised his hand. Can cops really change? He asked. She paused. Then answered. Yes, she said. But only if people expect them to. He nodded. That mattered. One evening, she and the black man crossed paths again. Outside a community hall. Just the two of them. No cameras. No crowd. I almost quit, she admitted. He looked at her. But you didn't. No, she said. Thank you, he replied. For staying. She smiled. For the first time, she believed she belonged there. Time passed. Not days. Not weeks. Years. The story was no longer fresh. No longer shared. But its effect remained. The black man stood in a small park on a warm evening. Children ran across the grass. Laughter filled the air. He watched quietly. His hair showed more gray now, but his back was still straight. Beside him stood his wife. Same calm. Same strength. She leaned close. You thinking about that day? She asked. He nodded. Sometimes, he said. Not with anger. With understanding. Across town, the policewoman adjusted her jacket. No patrol car. No vid. Just plain clothes. She no longer worked traffic. She taught. New officers sat in front of her. Young. Confident. She wrote one sentence on the board. Power is borrowed. Respect is earned. She turned to face them. I learned this the hard way, she said. No names. No clips. Just truth. Some officers shifted. Some nodded. One raised a hand. What happens if we mess up? He asked. She looked at him. Then you own it, she replied. And you do better. Later that night, she drove home. Past the same street. Same corner. She slowed down. Looked at the place. Nothing marked it. No sign. No memory. But for her, it was everything. The black man stood on a stage one last time. A small room. Young faces. He spoke slowly. You will be tested, he said. Not when people are watching. But when you feel powerful, he continued. And think you don't have to care. He paused. If you choose respect in that moment, he said, you change the world. The room was silent. After the talk, a young man approached him. I saw the video years ago, he said. That's why I stayed calm last month. The black man smiled. That's why we speak, he replied. One afternoon, a letter arrived. Handwritten. Short. Thank you for not hating me. It taught me how to love my job again. No name. He folded it. Placed it in a drawer. The policewoman received a message too. From a teen she once sat with in silence. I want to be like you. Not a cop, but brave enough to admit mistakes. She stared at the screen. Eyes wet. She saved it. Years later, a new officer pulled over a car. A black man sat inside. Hand on the wheel. Calm. The officer paused. Remembered training. Remembered words. The stop ended with a warning. With respect. The cycle did not end. But it bent. Just a little. And sometimes, that is enough. The black man walked home with his wife. Street lights glowed. He squeezed her hand. She squeezed back. No words needed. The policewoman closed her notebook for the last time. On the final page, one line was written. Issues respect. She smiled. Because power fades. Badges come off. Videos disappear. But how you treat people, that stays. Fire final line. The strongest people are not the ones who win the moment, but the ones who change the ending.